The cleaner sun. The bridge of the Zephyrian Ascendant erupted in chaos as warning lights bathed the command deck in crimson. Emperor Vexathari's 6 eyes dilated with terror as his flagship, the most advanced vessel in the Dominion fleet, began to shudder violently around him. "Report!" The Emperor's voice boomed through his biotranslators, causing several junior officers to cower. Chief Engineer Maltek's crystalline form flickered with distress patterns. "Your Magnificence, the quantum drive matrix is collapsing. The harmonic resonance chambers are destabilizing across all 17 layers." Admiral Kithrin's tentacles writhed as she consulted her tactical displays. "My lord, we have perhaps 12 minutes before complete system failure. The gravitational field generators are already fluctuating. If they collapse, we'll be torn apart by the nearby black hole's tidal forces." Emperor Vexathari had ruled the Galactic Dominion for 3 centuries, commanding respect from 1,000 species across 50 star systems. His empire stretched across 3 spiral arms, built on the foundation of superior Zethkari technology that had never failed. Until now. "Solutions," he demanded, his bioluminescent crown pulsing with anxiety. The assembled minds, the finest engineers, physicists, and technicians from dozens of advanced civilizations, worked frantically at their stations. The Veltari quantum theorists manipulated complex holographic equations. The mechanical Zondar units interfaced directly with the ship's neural networks. Even the energy-based Lamine beings attempted to harmonize with the failing systems. Nothing worked. 8 minutes remaining, Maltek announced, his voice crackling with static as the translation systems began to fail. In the lower decks, 17-year-old Jake Thompson pushed his cleaning cart through the maintenance corridors, unaware of the crisis above. His father, Robert Thompson, had worked as a sanitation engineer on the Emperor's flagship for the past 5 years, one of the few humans granted the privilege of serving the Dominion in such a menial capacity. Jake paused as the ship's vibrations grew more violent. He'd grown up around starship engines, first on the mining vessels where his father had worked before securing this position, and something about the harmonic frequency felt wrong. It reminded him of the old fusion reactors on the asteroid miners, a specific resonance that occurred when the containment fields were misaligned. The young human accessed a maintenance terminal, his fingers flying across the alien interface. Years of helping his father had taught him to read Zethkari technical displays, even if he couldn't speak the language fluently. His eyes widened. The quantum drive wasn't failing due to a mechanical malfunction. It was failing because of a simple calibration error that was creating a feedback loop. The Zethkari had over-engineered their solution, adding layer upon layer of complexity when what was needed was a basic frequency adjustment. Jake's hands moved instinctively to the manual override controls his father had shown him during their maintenance rounds. "For emergencies only," Robert had warned. "These can override any system on the ship, but use them wrong and you could kill everyone aboard." Meanwhile, on the bridge, panic reached fever pitch. 4 minutes. Maltek's form was now flickering. Rapidly. The cascade failure is accelerating beyond all projections. Emperor Vexathari's advisors had exhausted every option known to their advanced sciences. The Zethkari had built this ship using technology refined over millennia, incorporating quantum mechanics that lesser species couldn't even comprehend. How could their masterpiece be failing them now? Suddenly, the ship's death spiral began to slow. "What's happening?" Admiral Kithrin's tentacles froze mid-gesture. The violent shaking gradually subsided. The cascade alerts changed from red to amber, then to green. Throughout the bridge, impossible readings appeared on displays. The quantum drive matrix was not only stabilizing but optimizing beyond its original parameters. "Someone is manually adjusting the harmonic resonance from maintenance level 7, Maltek reported, his voice filled with disbelief. "The calibrations are primitive but extraordinarily effective." "Impossible," breathed the Emperor. "Who could understand our quantum systems well enough to—" "Security cameras show a single human juvenile in Maintenance Corridor 47, Admiral Kithran announced. Identification: Jake Thompson, son of sanitation engineer Robert Thompson." The bridge fell silent except for the healthy hum of properly functioning engines. A human child? Emperor Vexithari's 6 eyes blinked in sequence. A cleaner sun has solved what our greatest minds could not? The young human's voice crackled through the comm system, speaking halting Zethkari. Sorry for touching. The controls without permission, Your Majesty. The frequency modulation was just creating a standing wave interference pattern. I adjusted it like my dad showed me on the old mining rigs. Is everything okay up there? For a long moment, no one on the bridge moved. The most powerful ruler in known space stared at the display showing a teenager in maintenance coveralls, cleaning supplies still scattered around his feet, who had just accomplished the impossible. Chief Engineer Moltek's crystalline form pulsed, with what could only be described as embarrassment. The solution required no advanced quantum theory, no complex calculations, only practical engineering knowledge. Emperor Vexithari slowly stood from his throne, his bioluminescent crown now pulsing with a different emotion entirely. For 3 centuries, he had believed in the supremacy of advanced technology and sophisticated science. Yet it was the practical wisdom of a human, a species barely evolved beyond their home planet, that had saved them all. "Bring the boy to the bridge," he commanded quietly. "It appears we have much to learn about the value of simplicity." As Jake Thompson was escorted to meet the Emperor, word of the human cleaner's son who had saved the Dominion flagship spread throughout the ship. In the crew quarters, beings from dozens of advanced civilizations whispered in amazement about the species they had dismissed as primitive. Perhaps they began to realize evolution took many forms, and sometimes the greatest solutions came not from the most complex minds, but from the most practical ones. The universe, it seemed, still had surprises left to offer, and many of them wore the simple, determined face of humanity.